So now let's design the nav items, list items. So I'm going to the text transform to uppercase, so it's all uppercase. I'm going to turn off this transition temporarily because it's distracting from us our view. So I'm going to comment that. I'm going to comment this one too, so that now there is no transition effect. So let's do text transformation to uppercase, and we have our list items here. So we are modifying each of the list items, and then do a color on this to corral, and let's give it a margin from the top to bottom to 50 pixel, and from left right to 0. Also these elements will also have a transform effect. So transform will be the effect will be translate on the x-axis minus 100%. So we actually pushed them out of the view to minus 100% from the x horizontally, and then add a transition property on the transform of 1 second. Let's say it's going to be ease in, and then let's comment this out temporarily, and now let's go to nav ul. Inside ul we have a li, and inside that we have our first icon class, icon element, and we're going to give it a font size of 30 font size of 25 pixel, and margin to the right side to, let's say, 10 pixel. So right now this margin right property is now not working in the icon. So mistakenly we have placed this anchor tag inside the icon. So we will place this in the list element. Same with this one. Now let's move on to the nav ul under list li plus li, that is the second list element, and margin left to, let's say, 15 pixel. So it's going to be diagonally positioned. So we have given the first one about 0, and also we will transform it to translate about -200%, translate on the x-axis, and just like that. Select the third list item, and from margin left it will be 30 pixel, and translate x to -250%. So if we remove this, now all of them are positioned outside of the content. So let's go ahead quickly, just take a look at this. The nav, these are anchor elements, and they have a color blue by default, so we can override that using the anchor selector, and you say the text decoration to none, and the color to have this color, let's say FF7979, and when we also, now let's also add a hovering effect on this anchor element. So nav anchor tag, let's say sudo selector hover, and when we hover over this, we want the color to be this, and we want the font to be bold, so font weight to, let's say, 800. So when we hover, the font is bold. Also, let's go ahead and design the anchor tag of the p element. We'll just add a text decoration to none, and the color to be this one. And lastly, we will design the footer. Say footer, I'm going to use the display flex property and give it a height of 50 pixel. Then there's a font weight of 600. We can't really see it. After that, justify the content. Justify content will align it horizontally, and let's say align items. Align items will center it vertically, and we will add a color to color property. Color is, let's say, bisque, and also the margin is, it's a 0. So let's put these icons to their initial position, and we're going to add our last CSS selector, that is container show nav, and so we see that this is the dev class container show nav, and its immediate sibling is the nav bar, and its children are the list tags. So we will select that space, that then the nav element, and so to select the sibling we use the plus sign, and to select the children, that is the li tags, we give a space. And in here we will also have a transform property of translate x-axis to 0, and we're going to add a transition delay to this transformation. There's a transition delay of, let's say, 0.6 second. So essentially what is happening here is we have initially rotate them to 90 degrees. Initially we have, so essentially what is happening here is initially we have translated these nav li elements to 100 minus 100% to the left side, minus 200 to 50. So, and in here when the show nav class will be present, we are going to translate them to their original position, that is the 0 axis. So lastly we will add our JavaScript